So Beyond Meat has crashed over 75% from the highs that it made after an insane pump. But what are some red flags that you can look out for next time so you don't get trapped on this pump and dump, right? I posted a series of videos highlighting the risk of this momentum-based pump. All the red flags were there. It was a dying company over a long period of time that has been on a consistent decline. They always use these low float companies that are pretty much like just weeks or months away from bankruptcy. They see that the float is so low, they get in, they market it, they pump it. And again, this was the new version of GameStop and GME. Unfortunately for the bag holders, it only lasted about 4 days. The really cool thing about this is that we were able to watch this thing pump, and then we made money shorting it. If you're part of my LPP team, I only made a few $1,000s. After the second day of shorting it, I stopped shorting it moving forward. And the reason why is that inherently it becomes too risky. It's too volatile. Anything can happen. It can begin to pump again. That is the risk with these pump and dumps. So what I have found to be the most useful is once I've made my money and now the downside potential does not outweigh the upside risk, it's simple. Criteria no longer is being met. I move on and look for another trade, right? The unfortunate part about this is the red flags were there, but I don't believe people were informed enough to understand what to look for. So again, that's the whole point of this video. We had someone, I posted a reel on Instagram, and I've posted numerous videos here on YouTube expressing, I feel like it was common sense, expressing the risk with Beyond Meat, right? It was clear as day that it was incredibly risky. And this guy got so offended that I did make a video, and these people called each other idiots. Right? That's what Wall Street Bet is known for. Why are we taking profits at $7.50? Are you guys, and he uses a different word instead of idiots, hold to the moon and buy this dip right now. We could be at $8 by market close. Again, this was on the initial drop. This is when it was only down to like $3.50 or $3 flat. It's already sold off even more, $2.18. And this guy got so offended by me expressing the inherent risk of bag holding this stock that he said, again, like, pull out your crystal ball for tomorrow. And again, remember, this was the first day that it pulled back. Post another video giving us more stock market advice. Oh yeah, and call us idiots and other names and pretend that you are so much smarter than 99% of us. And what I said to him was, his name is John. Feel free to look him up. He blocked me, unfortunately, so I couldn't follow up to see, because after this, I think there's 2 or 3 consecutive days of it being down 20%. So ouch, BYND is down another 20% today. I wouldn't say that I'm smarter than you. I just prefer not to bag hold, brother. Enjoy the artificial meat, because that's what Beyond Meat is, right? It's like that artificial meat company. The part that is clear as day is that if you have any experience in this market, you don't need a crystal ball to pay attention or to be aware of criteria, right? When you see that this is a company that on the day chart is consistently selling off, lower highs, lower lows, it has some pumps from time to time, you know that at the end of the day, it's just a dying company. When you look into the fundamentals, right? Again, it's not rocket science. You could simply look it up. If you guys have Investing Pro, this is the software that I like to use. Feel free to check it out. It's the first link in the description down below. But it allows me to provide and do a fundamental analysis. This is a company that loses $153 million every single year. It's not a company that makes money. It's not a new company. It's a company that loses money. And you can see that its revenue has been on a consistent decline. It has a negative PE ratio. When you pull up the Pro research, which is one of my favorite parts about Investing Pro, it actually allows me to dive a little bit deeper and look into the actual revenue. Very simple. I'm not trying to be controversial. Is this a company that is showing signs of growth? No. The revenue bars, right? This is quarter after quarter. This goes back to 2020. 2020, there was a slight rise, right? And then ever since 2023, we've been on a consistent decline and a sharp decline, right? Everything is pointing in the red. And on the executive summary, it says Q2 2025 revenue declining by 19.6% year over year to $75 million. It also highlights this. and it result in massive shareholder dilution, causing the stock to plunge over 60%. This is a terrible, terrible company. All the red flags are there. Very little incentive to be buying or going long on this. The overall guidance is lowered. The revisions are lowered. When it comes down to the LTM models, this is how much the company makes per year and what it ends up at, right? It burns more money than it makes. And that's the thing that I wanted to highlight is all the red flags were there. I pointed it out very clearly where as of late October 2025, Beyond Meat has an approximately $103 million in cash and cash equivalents based off of its most recent financial report. It also has a significant amount of debt totaling $1.26 billion and is currently burning cash from operations, although it has secured new financing facilities to provide more operating runway. So again, a new financing option was that it secured a $100 million financing option in May of 2025 because it was burning through so much cash versus what it was making. Cash or cash equivalents, approximately $103 million, but that's nothing when your total debt is $1.26 million. The company is still spending more money than the company is bringing in. This is literally a ticking time bomb. So it's not that, again, like there are a lot of stocks that are parabolic right now, a lot of AI stocks, a lot of quantum stocks, and I don't like those either, right? I think that those are all irrational stocks with insane valuations, but they have a growth story. Those are very different. Those are in the beginning stages to some degree, right? And or they're pre-revenue and there's still a huge speculation for that. This isn't it. This company sells artificial meat. They've been established. They simply aren't growing. So again, it's really important that when you see a stock like this going parabolic from 50 cents per share all the way up to $8.85 per share, it's up 1,400% in 4 days. It's not that, oh, Ricky, you just don't want us to make money. No, like as long as you respect that this is going to be a short-lived rally, you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want. That's all I ever try to share within my videos is to put you in an informed position so you don't make irrational decisions during an irrational market. This stock had all the red flags of a pump and dump. It is a gimmicky stock, a failing business that had low float, that got manipulated, pumped, a bunch of marketing behind it, and even, right? I'm sure some of you guys saw the video that I uploaded where the SEC filings were explicit. The insider transactions were there. They juiced retail into a short squeeze, played you long, closed you shorts into retail liquidity. Insiders, note holders, and brokers made millions, and dumb ASS retail fell for it once again. We shared with you the SEC filing. All the red flags were there. It's not about having a crystal ball like John likes to say, right? We have a ton of traders that traded this stock, but that knew that it was a pump and dump. So guess what? They got in and got out and made their money and they bounced. We're all here for the same reason. We're all here to make money. So I have nothing against if someone trying to make money off of this stock, but then you can't be surprised when the stock turns against you and you still bag hold and now you have hope. Hope of what? You're just hoping now to get lucky that enough people gather together that they pump up the stock enough so you can minimize how much money you have lost. This is why I think it's very important to inform beginners to identify these red flags so they can be self-sufficient. So once and if this thing presents itself again, something similar like to it, where it's another pump and dump, it's a dying business, you could clearly see that it's not something that's actually going to turn around. That, okay, if you want to trade it, I know that this is going to be a super high risk, high reward type of play. But if I'm okay with that, then I treat it appropriately, right? Every time that I decided to trade or short BYND, I did it with a fraction of what I would normally trade any other company because I knew that it was so much more risky than everything else out there. And I think all we can ever do is during moments like this, not get upset with one another, right? This is the part that cracks me up, is that they were truly upset that other people were selling. What? We're all here to make money. Why would you ever be afraid, or not afraid, but bothered that other people are choosing to take profits with the money that they decided to put behind these trades? It just shows how greedy these people are, that they want to win, and because you won and you took profits and that's against them, now they turn against you. And I can only imagine how down bad, right? Because it says John ended up saying that he bought even more shares on the dip at $3 and that he's riding that effort out. Like, that is truly like what they call themselves, just idiots. Like, if you have no trade criteria and all you're doing is blatantly just putting money in something and hoping to get lucky, you deserve everything that's coming to you. The market will humble you. And again, it's just that simple. There's nothing wrong with trading pump and dumps if you're aware of the risk and know how to trade them. They're not designed for beginners. They move incredibly risky, which is why we always encourage beginners to stay away from them. But you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want. So if you do choose to trade them, I hope that you at least dig a little bit deeper to understand the business, right? To understand the financials of, hey, this truly is a failing business. All the red flags were there. I know that it's going to be a short-lived rally. I'm going to respect that. I'm going to size down, not be afraid to take advantage of some trades, right? Because obviously it was very attractive. It was every day. It was pumping up, 50, 100, 150%. It was insane. But all hype always comes to an end, some quicker than others. Again, you do not want to be someone that pays that price. When you trade inherently risky stocks, manage that position size, and you better make sure that your risk management is A1. Again, we'll talk about this in a little bit more detail. I'm sure it's going to still be, an active stock throughout this upcoming week, but we have a very interesting week ahead. We have the FOMC rate decision that's supposed to be in about 3 to 4 days. So just another reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel as I'm going to live stream it. And we have big tech reporting earnings such as Alphabet, Amazon, Google, that's Alphabet, Meta, the list goes on. They're all reporting this week. So again, just another reason to subscribe. Don't forget, if you ever want to watch me trade live, I trade live every single morning right at market open with our LPP team. It's designed for complete beginners. You get to see all of my good trades, all of my bad trades, and it's the second link in the description down below. And also don't forget the software that I use to break down some of these stocks and to see on the fundamental side what these companies are producing, those cash flow statements. Those are all from Investing Pro. So if you want to check it out, first link in the description down below, we'll offer you a discount. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. If not, like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.